Hello and welcome back to the vlog, the second one of the many to come, hopefully. I thought I'd do a little bit more about my health issues to begin with, and what happened and why this all led to what it's hopefully going to be, a retirement in the Philippines. So the first bit was last Christmas, 23. I felt unwell during Christmas, New Year period, got worse and worse, got to the point where I couldn't do any work, had to cancel work. Lost a lot of decorating through that. I ended up sleeping on this settee, literally had to roll off. Hadn't gone to the loo for about 5 weeks, number twos. Sorry if you're eating. But yeah, so basically got worse and worse and worse. I was put on some antibiotics which didn't work because they thought it was a urinal infection. Ended up with basically staphylococcus through some broken skin in my foot. So if you're a diabetic, do look after your feet. That's basically how the infection got through. And I use a cream now, sort of 3-4 times a week, just to keep, like a hand cream, so it keeps it moist. Far better. I've not had any cracking skin since then. So basically it took out my stomach, so I couldn't go to the loo for 5 weeks or so. Lost use of my neck. It was agony because I couldn't move. Then it went through to my right arm when I got into hospital. Literally all I had was a little bit of movement in my fingers. It then went into my left thigh muscle. I couldn't walk. I was literally bedridden for a sort of minimum of a week, into the point where they got the antibiotics correct for me, and then there was an improvement. Then it went through my short trip through the brain, and took out most of my vision. That's what led me to go into hospital, really, because I lost my vision. Spent a few weeks in hospital, had a PICC line put in me. So when I got home and released after 2 or 3 weeks, I was then twice weekly given infusion by some nurses that came here sort of about 9 o'clock and then sort of 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I couldn't work during that period. Plus I didn't have any energy, strength, and I was too weak to do anything anyway. Then the year sort of progressed, went back to work gradually. But I've lost all the power that I had, well, most of the power I had. I can't lift up my 3-tier ladder now for decorating. I'm out of puff a lot quicker. Just lack of stamina, I fatigue a lot quicker. And yeah, so I'm just struggling to really do anything nowadays. And then back in December, early December, woke up one Saturday morning and all I saw was in my left eye, sort of like a, if you know the gymnasts, they wave that stick with the ribbon, and it was like that pattern, but it's all smoke effect and black. So about a third of my vision was made up of that, and some black dots and weird stuff going on that eye. And in the right eye, it was just like black circles and squares and odd shapes. So I sort of went through the weekend. It got fractionally better during the weekend. Went back to work on Monday. Was struggling a bit to see, obviously. And then Tuesday, eventually, neighbour said, you really should go and sort your eyes out, Dean. So I went to the local opticians, who did some tests on me, good sort of 3 or 4 hours. And they emailed my consultant down at Brighton Eye Hospital. He then phoned up the next morning about 8:30, Dr. Hugh Edwards, and said, come down, we need to see you. So I went down there, had tests on the Thursday, put dye into me as they took films of my eyes and pictures. And from layman's terms is, during my recovery period, there's something called VEGF, which I don't understand. It's like a growth hormone. Apparently if you're a diabetic, you get this. During the healing period, blood vessels grew from the back of my eye through like a wormhole through my eye, and now they grow across the top of my eye. That's why my vision was going really weird. And the same for this, but fractionally lesser extent. This one's the right eye's a slightly better eye. So they recommended, so within a week I was given laser eye surgery, just before Christmas, I think it was. I had the laser eye surgery, and that was really just to stop, the way they described it was like, you can imagine a mountain, all the blood vessels coming down, blood pouring down through the vessels into the eye. Laser surgery eyes just cut it off. I'm meant to be going back in February. I haven't heard anything, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but I sure have to get in touch with the opticians and see what they recommend. So that's basically where I am. I'm feeling a lot older and a lot weaker than I was at this time or a couple of years ago. That brought me to the idea of what can I do? You know, I can't see myself working for the next 10 years, especially not decorating, and I probably can't afford to stop decorating, so I have to retire. But where could I retire at the age of 55? So I come up with some ideas, you know, I was thinking maybe Spain, the usual places and things like that, but that's expensive, or just as expensive it is in the UK. Then chatting to somebody online I know, and they said the Philippines. I thought, oh, what about, Thailand, that would be maybe a place to go. So I looked into Thailand. Then he said, well, the Philippines, he's been there a couple of times or a few times. So I looked into that, and that sort of appealed to me because of the language barrier. Most people apparently from 40 below know English very well or speak it very well, and there's not quite so much of the language barrier there. So started looking into the Philippines areas, joined a Facebook page or two for expats, got some information, lots and lots of research. How much is an annual wage in the Philippines? Once if I sell my house for this amount, how much will I have to live on, and such things. And basically sort of got more and more into depth into looking into the Philippines. Eventually come up with some places like, obviously Manila's an obvious one. Then that's all I knew about the Philippines, to be honest. And then found out like Cebu, and then some Angeles, I think it's called. Lots of other towns and large towns and big, smaller cities. Eventually come across, I can't remember how I come across Dumaguete, but I think it was a link from somewhere to somewhere, and pointed me like one of the top 10 places to retire in the world is Dumaguete. So I have a look at that, and it just appealed to me. If you ever do have a look at it, it's old versus new, east meets west sort of thing. You've got lovely brand new spanking car showrooms, or an office building, then next door to a little bit more of a rundown shop, local shop. But that appeals to me. The health and safety has not gone mad there, that's for sure. So that appeals to me. Language shouldn't be a problem because, as I say, most of the Filipinos speak English or have a good understanding of it. Most of the shops, sort of good 90% I'd say, have English banners and written signs for it, and so that you know it's a DIY shop, it's a carpet sales or it's whatever it is. There's Starbucks there on the seafront, there's KFC, there's McDonald's, Jelly Bees, which I think is like a chain within the Philippines, and that does your fast food, pastas, chicken burgers and things like that. Lots of other chains there, which Chow King or something like that, so it all looks very good. You've got a very large hypermarket in Dumaguete City called Robinson's, which is, I'd say, probably bigger than the county mall up in Crawley. Definitely on par with it, if not bigger. Looks very clean and tidy. And then you've got your local shops. There's hypermarkets there. I think one's being pulled down and refurbed as we speak. Lee's or something, it's been rebranded. There's a few other larger malls in the area. You've got an airport sort of 15 minutes outside, which is on the top of Dumaguete. So it's all there. It's got some hospitals and clinics, which obviously hopefully won't need, but we will need at some stage, especially for Teresa. So we're looking into that side of things. Right, so originally had the thought, if obviously we're serious about doing this, then we'd have to actually go over there. And I thought about going over in, save up for the year, maybe go sort of December time, November, December. And if you know me, I'm sort of fairly impatient. I'm impatient, it's as simple as that. I like to do things, boom, 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 don't do it, get it done, get it over with. I brought it forward till the end of March, April 1st we get there, but we leave on the 30th, and so we travel for about a day and a half really. We've got quite a long layover. But yeah, so I thought we'd book it for them. We leave Gatwick, which I think is, yeah, I think it's the 30th. Yeah, Saturday the 30th. It's an 8-hour flight roughly to Dubai. Then we have a 2.5 hour layover there. And I assume by the time we get off the plane, because I believe we'll be last off because Teresa's disability in the wheelchair, we then, with the assistants, get to the other part of the terminal, get rechecked in. That's pretty much your 2 hours done anyway. Then there's another 8 or 9 hour flight from Dubai to Manila. Once we get there, this is the killer. It's a 10-hour layover. We get there about 10:50 at night. I've spoken to Philippine Airlines because we go with Emirates, then it's Philippine Airlines from Manila to Dumaguete. Spoken to Philippine Airlines and we can use their lounge, so we can have a bit of a lay down and try and recharge our batteries a bit, especially for Teresa. She'll need to have a good lay down at some stage. Then it's from there, it's a 1.5 hour flight to Dumaguete, and we get there we leave at 8:30 roughly. I think it's Monday morning now, I'm a bit confused, and then get to the Dumaguete around about 10, half 10, something like that. The hotel have said they will, and have confirmed that they will pick us up from the airport and take us back. And I have mentioned that we need to have a car level, not like a high level vehicle, because Teresa just won't get into it she can't move and get up steps and such things, and room for a wheelchair. Yeah, so that's it. Teresa's really not excuse me, not looking forward to that. I can't wait because I know what's on the other side. You know, I'll go through the pain of the flight purely because I know what's waiting for me on the other side. Nice warm weather. We've booked 3 weeks, and the idea is to do some recharge the batteries for a couple of days, get our bearings, and then start exploring. We've spoken to Alma from Dumaguete House Rentals. She's kindly picking us up, taking us around to do some viewings of places that are possible to rent. And just basically get an idea of what you get for your money. And when they say is a wet room, we would need, and also eventually we would need a place where it's pet friendly. The 1 border collie that you've seen before and 2 cats. And we'd need a 2-bedroom place initially. And the idea is to look around a few areas around the Dumaguete area, which is, I can't pronounce some of the names, but the main one is Valencia, which is about a 15-minute car ride from the suburbs and slightly out Dumaguete, from what I can see, back to Rizal Boulevard, which is the seafront of Dumaguete. Or if we can find somewhere a little bit closer, 15 to 20-minute walk, me pushing Teresa in a wheelchair, or eventually when we get it, I'd like to buy a outside electric wheelchair so I don't have to push her everywhere. Yeah, hopefully we can find somewhere in that sort of 15-minute, 20-minute walking distance. There's quite a few suburbs around that area where she can then trundle off, even if she wants to trundle off on her own one day or do shopping if she's brave enough. But the option's there, and it saves me having to push her everywhere. Otherwise, we'll end up having to get a car if we move to Valencia. It's got, we've countless videos. It's got a lovely boulevard area called Rizal. And then during the day, it's quite peaceful and calm. You've got a grass area and benches, so you can just overlook the sea. It looks great. And in the evenings, it all comes to life, really. All the families go out. You've got local vendors selling crafted goods. You've got selling their own stock. And also local cuisine, the street food. And then one section you notice is they do massages and back massages and feet massages, and then you've got another food hall area further up the area. Yeah, it's great. And people doing martial arts of some sort, Zumba classes. So there's lots going on. There's a couple of basketball matches going on. Yeah, it looked height of activity. It looked great and very family orientated, and it looked pretty safe. That's obviously another concern, how safe it is. And by the looks of it, I'd feel safer walking through there in the evenings than I would in Brighton, that's for sure. Yeah, so hopefully walking around, finding out the areas. We're looking to... It's a recon holiday stroke, take our time, get to know the area really. Yeah, and that being the idea really. And then once we return from the Philippines, it'll be start clearing out the house. Going to be a lot of arguments there with Teresa regarding getting rid of her junk. All I'm looking to do is pack up a couple of guitars that I can't play yet. I still haven't learned how to play them. The PCs, Xboxes, some of the electrical stuff I'd like to take with me. And then it'll be some personal bits and pieces, pictures and such things, and photos. Everything else we'll just have to sell because there's, you know, I can't afford to fly all over there. And I want to have a clean slate over there, not have any tat like Teresa collects basically. She'll call it lovely items, I call it tat, you know, we shouldn't have had it basically. Yeah, so that's the idea. We'll sell up, redecorate the house, tidy the garden up, put it on the market, then get in touch with about a rental place, find, you know, have a look at one. If I like it, I'll rent it from here, then we'll fly over. Still not quite sure on the RSSV form, which is the retirement form. There's a few queries on that, so while we're over there, we're going to have a chat with solicitors regarding the form and how you go about filling it in and getting it sorted. We'd like to visit the hospitals. We want to chat about Teresa's yearly MRI scan. I've got a price on how much it works out, about £1,200 to £1,500 once a year to have an MRI scan. And it's Teresa has catheters changed once every 3 months, so we'll be looking to get popped to a clinic and get them to take the old one out and put a new one back in again, unless I have a go at doing it once it's next done. But yeah, apparently the hole's very small, so yeah, I think I'll leave that to somebody qualified to do that. Yeah, so that's it really. Once we move to Dumaguete, Valencia, that area, it's find the place that we like for rent for 6 months, have a good look around for a place to buy, which would 3 bedrooms, obviously one for me and Teresa, one for Sophie to live in, and then a 3rd guest bedroom. Lots of people interested in staying with us, so everybody's free to come and stay over as long as they want. I think you need a visa for over 30 days though, and I'm not sure how much that is, but you can use our place for what do they call it, a hotspot, where you can then stay there and go off exploring. But that'll be another video if and when we ever get there. That's it really. I thought I'd just sort of give you an idea of the outline, basic one really, of what our plan is. We've had a good idea on basic medical cover from videos. I'm still researching that because there's obviously various tiers of medical cover for us. It's as little as £85 for 2 people for basic medical cover, which covers you for about 3 or 4 visits each to the doctors a year. Then it obviously scales out, and we've got to work out what's the best option for us, where it's just have the basic one and then pay as we need for an MRI scan, or if we need to go in and pay, because it's a lot cheaper out there. We've worked out a rough rent. Yeah, rough rent moment is about sort of 450 quid a month. Then utilities on top of that. Water's dirt cheap. I think it's about $10 or something. So call it 7 or 8 quid here. The internet is about £30 to £40, depending on which you go. I mean, I've looked at Starlink, which is the one obviously straight to the satellite, which is meant to be very good. And that's about £200-300 a buy, and then £30 to £40 a month subscription. But it's faster than what I'll get here, 50 meg. Electricity can be a little bit pricey over there, but still not compared to here. I won't go into all that. My meds, I've looked at my insulin, which is about £70 to £100 roughly, depending on which brand you go with. And groceries. And then again, whilst we're out there, we'll have a good idea on how much it costs to eat out. I'm desperate to try the street food. Brought lots of this. Rehydration tablets. We've got packs of each one. Got our mosquito repellent stuff, DEET and other bits and pieces, some bands. So had our injections. I can't remember what they were now. I've got the paperwork somewhere, but as I can see, we're already packing up now. But I think, that's what I've got. Yeah, I think typhoid, diphtheria, polio, tetanus. I thought I had something else. Can't remember what the other one was. But yeah, I think, yeah, so we're covered. Rabies we can have, shouldn't need it, but apparently they, surprisingly, the NHS haven't got any in stock, rabies injections or vaccinations, so maybe at the end of the year, if we do actually move, then we can have the rabies, but if we're not going off the beaten track, there's no need for it. Okay, well, I think that's it really. So we're having a look at the clinics, we're having a look at the hospitals, the lawyers. I'm going to chat with them. I'll be in touch with some solicitors before we go, just to make sure that's all good. And that's it really. I'd like to talk about finances, but I'm not going to do it this video. I've got a basic idea of how much things, but once we've been out there, we'll have a better idea. So I will share that information with you in the next video. Hopefully the next one we might see Teresa. She's plucking up the guts to do it. So this has pushed me out of my comfort zone doing this. Hopefully I will get better as time goes on. Please like and subscribe. I know you hear this all the time, but I think it will help the channel. Thank you very much, and hopefully see you very soon. Bye-bye.